is going to be one match that whoever scores first is going to open a can of worms. We are going to see a match here. So a goal might just be what we need to make this absolutely interesting.
Very, very interesting indeed. Both teams from the proceedings in the first 13 minutes, anytime that either of the teams loses the ball, they drop back in numbers and just wait for their opponents in the midfield. Very, very cautious approach. Mwana Kamba, Suleiman Fatma. Fatma, Fatma with a long pass, trying to get hold of Clement Sanga. Goalkeeper war and referee calls for an infringement on Phoebe Owiti.
Well, Gilbert, that was a little bit of a push there, held Fibiowiti from the back. No intention to get the ball whatsoever, so referee got it right.
Absolutely. Mudezi. Mudezi. Violet Wanyonyi in the midfield. Teresa Engesha. And the battle in the midfield between Engesha and Asha Jafari. Today playing as an attacking midfielder.
Well, it looks like their eye is on Terry Agasha, and they keep changing movement. If you look at how they're playing right now, this Vihiga Queens, Violet Wanyonyi has actually come to the left side, and Gentrix Shikangwa has moved to the right. So that movement is what is.
And that is the number 9, Teresa Engesha. Well, with an opportunity to try at least bring a cross in, but again, really doesn't hit the foot right. That's a good pass. Very beautiful control there by Teresa Engesha. But again, the left foot lets her down. Evariste Tosi. Tosi with a big front forward to try and look for Clement Sanga. Again, very solid display there by Phoebe Owiti. Plays the ball into midfield. Again, they lose it. Teresa Engesha. Engesha, Mudezi. Mudezi tries to get Violet Wanyonyi, picked by Suleiman Fatma. Fatma to the captain, Mwanakamba. Mwanakamba, Fatma. Fatma, Kipoi. Kipoi, very good turn there. Kipoi still on the ball. Kipoi plays the ball wide to Clement, but picked into the midfield by Phoebe Owiti. Owiti, solid performance from Phoebe. And the ball goes out for a throw-in.
Well, Gilbert, Phoebe Owiti is everywhere in that defense. If she's not in the middle, she's taking it to the flanks. And you have to give her credit for trying to shut down this very lethal defense of the Simba Queens.
Absolutely. Another throw in there. Maslin Anyango. Anyango, Violet, picked out by Suleiman Fatma. Ball back to the defenders there. Singano plays a long pass to Flavin Masolo. Masolo into the midfield. Joella Bukuru. Bukuru, Musolo, and then a good tackle there by Vivian Makoha. Makoha tries to plant the ball forward to try and get to Gentrix. But again, the ball was too fast for Gentrix and goalkeeper Zubeda Mgunda. Easy time, easy pick. Suleiman Fatma. Suleiman Fatma with everyone on the yellow side back into the defense. Solid performance by Phoebe Owiti, who's really come out very strongly to mark out Clement Sanga. Kipoi, Suleimani with a good dot. Again, picked out by Maslin Anyango for the throw-in. Suleimani, Fatma tries to get to Denai Bobo, denied. Gentrix Shikangwa, CECAFA Senior Challenge top scorer in 2019. Back to Teresa Engesha. Engesha plays wide to Wanyonyi. Wanyonyi, Morina Cheng, Wanyonyi. Again, typical defending there from Evariste Tos, the fullback 3 on the Simba Queens side. It's a throw-in. Evariste, Zingano, captain, Mwanakamba, deny Bobo, Suleimani Fatma, Fatma. Fatma, the long pass here to try and look for Clement Sanga. Again, intercepted by Phoebe. Phoebe, poor pass into the midfield, gets to Maslin Onyango. Maslin, and that is a foul from Mwanakamba. Remember, Mwanakamba is on a yellow card. At this point in time, she really, really needs to check out on how she's tackling, because anytime from now, she could be heading to the showers.
And look at that, Gilbert. Again, no intention to get the ball. It really, she has to be extremely careful. As a captain, you cannot afford to get a second yellow card in this match, because that means you will be out of this match, and most importantly, reduce your chances of going into the final.
Absolutely. John Nabirie. Long punt in the box, picked out by Singano. Singano plays to Kipoi. Tosi moving up to try and help out in the attack. Tosi donning number 11 jersey for Simba Queens, playing as a left back.
Joanne just trying to cut off supply there, but unfortunately not getting the ball.
Free kick, Joella Bukuru. Joella Bukuru. She floats the ball there. Goalkeeper comes out, headed into play, and cleared to Gentrick Shikangwa. Shikangwa in the midfield again. Another foul on Gentrick Shikangwa. Well, it actually goes the other way. Asha Jaffrey.
Well, that was a foul, Gilbert. She didn't get the ball. She got the leg and unfortunately gave away the foul.
Absolutely. Again, another good run here by Teresa Terry. Terry Engesha. Terry Engesha again is the captain. Terry Engesha and the captain. And Mwanakamba ensures that Terry has the last touch onto that ball. Goalkeeper Zubeda Mugunda. Mugunda, Singano. Singano trying to get to Flavin Musolo. Musolo with a deep run. Musolo, another good run by Musolo. She gets into the box. She tries to bail the bringing across, but again, Musolo's right foot lets her down.
And look at that run all the way from the midfield by passing 3 Vihiga United players. And she was trying to be clever with the ball because she saw how the goalkeeper was standing. I think that slight push there by Vivian Makoha might just have destabilized her and caused her to kick the ball out.
Absolutely. I think Teresa Engesa intimating that she was hit in the nose.
And immediately you can see the coach trying to talk to his troops there and telling them what to do. Put the ball at, the final third. Push it all there. That is Terry Gesha. She looks like she has an injury.
Oh, there's a different color on her lips. She may have been injured off the ball, and hopefully the medics will take care of their business and allow Teresa Engesha to come back into the midfield. Masia Nyango, again won by Silimani Fatma. Fatma, Kipoi plays in the midfield to Ash Jaffrey, picked by the Vihiga defenders. Gentrix, again, well marked out by the captain of the day, Viot Mwanakamba. Daisy. Again, ball goes out. for a throw in. Suleiman Fatma. Fatma, Monique Poi. Monique Poi. Monique Poi. Monique Poi beats Vivian Makoha. Brings in a cross. Again, beautiful defending by Phoebe Awiti. Knocks the ball back to Maslin Anyango. Anyango with a big punt forward. Again, captain picks it out. Suleimani with a big punt again, trying to get to Clement Sanga. Again, solid performance there from Phoebe Awiti. Very, very dangerous play here by the Simba Queens. Asking questions.
They have been asking questions, and look at how far it's coming from the flanks, and they're trying to put the ball into that final third. Offside, but a very, very good call. And now Vihiga Queens have to be very careful with that high line.
They have to be very, very careful because the Simba Queens trying to get hold of Clement Sanga, donning number 7, the key striker at the top again. Ball trying to be played to Clement Sanga. Clearance by Mudezi. In the midfield, Anyango. Anyango battling it out against Asha Jafari. Well, won back in the midfield by Bukuru. Bukuru plays the ball back to Singano. Singano, Suleiman. Suleimani. Again, still in control of the ball. She plays the ball back to Bobo. Bobo, the pass master, trying to get hold of Clement Sanga. But again, Phoebe Owiti throws her up and passes the ball to the goalkeeper. Gentrick Shikangwa. Back to Violet Wanyonyi. Well, picked in the midfield by the pass master, Denai Bobo. Bobo with a long punt forward, trying to get to Kipoi. But again, the delivery was not that good, and it goes out for a throw-in.
Well, this lady Kipoi keeps switching flanks, Gilbert. Once you're seeing her on the right, the next on the left. So she's really trying to look for this ball everywhere and trying her luck everywhere. And this bigger defense have to be very wary of her movement. So they need to find a way to cut off her supply.
Absolutely. Terry Engesha. Engesha, again, collected in the midfield by Asha Jaffrey. Asha plays the ball into space for Clement Sanga. Again, it goes out for a throw-in. Enes Mudezi, the captain on the Vihiga Queen side. Good defense by Vivian Makoha.
Well, Vivian was hoping it would go out for a throw-in. However, it just slightly went further, and it is a corner for the Simba Queens.
I think it's a throw-in. Yes, by
Yes.
Suleimani Fatma, Kipoi. And it's been called out for a corner. Vivian Makoha aids Simba Queens for another corner, well deserved. 26 and a half minutes to the clock in the first half, and still kicking. Joel Bukuru with a corner. Bukuru, the lanky midfield, hasn't scored yet. Big pass forward, goalkeeper drops it, and still in danger there. But again, Bukuru with another punt. Quality heading there from the defender. That should be Phoebe Awiti doing absolute good business for the Vihiga Queens.
Gilbert, it was actually Gentrix Shikangwa who took that ball out, and look at how far she went. Poor clearance there by the defender, and onto as a goalkeeper, make sure you punch it out hard enough.
Hard enough from Gladys Midecha, my football analyst today. Another foul in the midfield on Joel Bukuru.
Well, it looks like it is a battle of the midfield. Both teams playing 4-3-3, and that is now on Maureen Achieng of Vihiga Queens. She has had a very quiet game, but let's see what she can do in this final third as we see this free kick being taken.
Well, the referee trying to caution the players. And a big pound forward by Phoebe Awiti. Goalkeeper Subeda Mugunda picks the ball with ease. A long punt forward. Well cleared off the lines. And it goes to Monique. Monique lets the ball roll out for a throw in. Suleiman Fatima. Monique. Suleiman. Another throw to Clement Sanga. Sanga, a foul by Phoebe Owiti on Clement Sanga.
Well, look at that. She was nowhere near the ball, just wanted to cause an obstruction, and she did. However, she has given out a foul in a dangerous area. Anywhere near that box is very dangerous, especially with the Simba Queens being able to take their set pieces very, very well, Gilbert.
Absolutely. Evariste Tosi charged with the responsibility of bringing in a quality pass in that box. Evariste goes straight to the goalkeeper. Easy pick for Liliana Ward.
Well, she was hoping probably she could get an assist by the wind. It's a little bit windy here in Nairobi today. Good weather for football.
Well, another foul again on Monique Kipoi. Well, Monique Kipoi today has police marking from Phoebe Awiti. And it's a free kick that will be taken by Joella Bukuru. You see Joella Bukuru and the pass master, Danai Bobo, lining up to take the shot. Will it be a direct shot or they try some tricks? And it's Bobo. Bobo with a shot! But it really doesn't hit the target. And it's a goal kick. Bobo with one goal to her credit. Good technique. But the ball goes wide.
Good technique, nothing for Liliana Ward to worry about as she takes that goal kick. And really, they have to be wary of giving away those free kicks in those dangerous areas. Again, Gilbert, if you're going to get those free kicks in dangerous areas, this is for both teams. They have to make sure that they utilize them because these chances might not be as many as they hope for.
Absolutely. Long punt there to try and look for Terry Engesha. Again, Zubeda Mugunda being involved. Zingano to Evariste Tosi, the left back. Long pass trying to get to Flavin Mavete Musolo. Ball into the box again. Too far for the incoming midfielder Joella Bukuru. Goalkeeper Liliana Ward plays the ball forward. Won in the midfield by Teresa Engesha. Engesha loses it out to Asha Jafari. And it's a foul by Maslin Anyango. These two are really at each other at this point. And it starts a goalkeeper, Lilian Award. Big punt forward. Battle in the midfield. Again, a header there from Danai Bobo to Flavin Musolo. Ball picked in the midfield by Maureen Achieng. Marcelin Anyango plays the ball to Vivian Makoha. Makoha trying to get to Gentrix again. Picked out by Suleimani. Suleimani plays the ball forward. And up comes Flavin Musolo. And it's a foul.
Well, Gilbert, I'm actually having a little bit of a good time here because she was down until she saw the ball coming all the way back to her, and that was ball handling there from the Vihiga Queens side. But really, the theatrics in football, I think there's too much drama when it comes to it.
That's what makes football a beautiful game. Clement Sanga again blocked, picked by Teresa Engesha. Engesha again losing it out to Julita Zingano. To the captain, Danai Bobo. Back to Zingano. Zingano, Evariste Tosi. Tosi, the long pass to Clement Sanga. Sanga back to Flavin Mawete. Mawete, the run, solid run on the left. Again, quality defending there by Phoebe Owiti.
Gilbert, both sides so far have done excellent work when it comes to defending, really, and they're doing a very, very good job. And this just tells you how tight it is for strikers from both sides. If you look at Terry and you look at this lady Kipoi on the other side, they are both not being given any space. Now, if Lillian wants to be of good contribution, she should actually put those goal kicks to the line. And look at that. Very easy pick for her.
Bobo, Sulemani Fatma. Sulemani Fatma, big punch to Clement Sanga. Sanga, well, she doesn't pick it up. It's picked by a solid Vivian Makoha. Into the midfield, Morina Chieng. Morina Chieng, and gives the ball back to Vivian Makoha. Makoha, Gentrix with a through ball to Wanyonyi. Wanyonyi, and again, too close to the keeper. That's a quick restart there. Evariste Tosi again. Clement Sanga. Clement Sanga still onto the ball, plays back to Tosi into the midfield, Bukuru again to the fellow midfielder, Asha Jaffari, Silemani Fatma with a big punt forward, trying to get to Flavin Musolo. Or again, quality defending there from the Vihiga Queens. And of course, Joella Bukuru failing to take advantage.
Well, Fatma has been instrumental in bringing those crosses in.
And it looks like the goalkeeper, Zubeda Mugunda. Zubeda Mugunda on the Simba Queen side. Looks like something that may have happened to her. Off the ball incident. Should be an off the ball incident. We hope that the medics.
Well, Gilbert, let's just look at it. Picked the ball. A little bit uncomfortable when she was doing that throw-in. Probably not the best of techniques, especially when you've not been warming up. So as you are standing there, you need, as a goalkeeper, you need to keep your muscles open. Keep reminding them that they are working, Gilbert.
Absolutely.
And we're seeing the coaches from both sides taking that opportunity, that small break, to talk to their charges. Just a little bit of tactic change here and there, and let's see what will come in after this break.
Well, and at 4 p.m., Lady Doves of Uganda will be battling it out against the sensational team of the tournament, the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia. So have a date with it. At 4 p.m., we'll be right here alongside my co-commentator to bring you that one. Well, ball back into play.
They were quick to start that, Gilbert. However, that was an offside. Correct call there by the assistant referee. And Gilbert, the refereeing in this tournament has been absolutely phenomenal.
Absolutely phenomenal. Ball back into the midfield, Mudezi. Mudezi tries to get to Engesha. Engesha. And she happened to have been the last person to kick the ball out. And again, another long throw there by Slimani, trying to get to Kipoi. Kipoi, again, solid performance from Mudezi. Daisy, Suleiman, Fatma. Fatma, again, the first assistant, Nakitun Kumbi from Uganda, feels that there was an infringement by Monique Kipoi. Big punt, Phoebe. Long ball here, won into midfield by Asha Jaffrey. Jaffrey plays to the captain, Mwanakamba. Mwanakamba tries to play to Clement, but picked in the midfield by Engesha. Engesha, Gentrix. Gentrix, ball back to the speed, Violet Wanyonyi, and there's an infringement by the Vihiga Queens. Quick restart there, Evariste Tosi. Tosi, in the referee, Shamira Nabada, says that there should be a restart. Mwanakamba, Singano, Bobo, Monique, Udezi wins it in the midfield. Well, Suleimani, Jaffrey, Bukuru, again, ball too hard for Fatma to get to.
Well, it has been too much for her, but she's also been everywhere winning those balls on the line, Suleiman. She's having an absolutely wonderful game, and really, you have to give credit where it's due, Gilbert. These Queens are giving us one exciting match.
One exciting match. While you'd expect when it is a battle for the Queens, they sizing each other. The game is 50-50. None of the two sides has really stamped their authority. They are very, very quiet in terms of their build-up, not pushing numbers up front, but very, very solid defending so far from both sides. Bukuru, Clement, wide to Musolo, good pick there, Musolo with a shot. Again, Vivian Makoha comes in at the nick of time to break that shot. Again, back to Gentrix Shikangwa with a long pass to Teresa Engesa, goalkeeper. Time.
Very, very good build-up. We're seeing the ball on each side.
Well, another big punt forward by Slimani Fatma. Throwing Slimani Fatma, Monique Kipoi. Two players right around Monique Kipoi, because Enes Mudezi, got immunity, but very, very difficult to pitch. Bobo, but another good clearance there by Vivian Makoha. Picks again in the midfield by Asha Jaffrey, Bukuru, Tosi, trying to get to Flavin Musolo, battle there again. Very, very, very solid defending there from Alice Muderi, the right back on the Vihiga Queen side. The throw-in taken by Tosi, Flavin, the long punt in the defense again. Teresa Engesha drops back to help out. Picked by Gentrix Shikangwa, back to Alice Muderi. Alex Muderi to Gentrix into the midfield. Plays the ball back to Vivian Makoa. Vivian, goalkeeper Lilian Award, back to Vivian. Into the midfield by Phoebe Owiti. Again, the tiki-taka by the Vihiga Queens, enjoying their ball movements here. Vivian Makoha tries to play with the ball in this, but it's won by Clement, and the referee calls a foul on Phoebe Owiti.
Well, Phoebe Owiti, no nonsense defender there. She has been overworking today. We've seen a lot of her off the ball and on the ball, clearing, defending, giving everything, making sure that her side is not conceding.
Absolutely. Daisy. Daisy. The ball back into the midfield. Picked by Bobo, again, another foul by Maureen Acheng on Bobo. These two midfield maestros, they're working at each other.
Well, there you can see that foul by Maureen Chieng there. I did say she had a quiet game. Now I'm seeing her here. And it's that foul that has made us remember Marina Chiang is in this pitch. And really, the battle of the midfield has been absolutely immense. These two teams almost on a 50-50 ball possession moment. And the referee is saying that the Queens are trying to be a little bit cheeky with where they want to take the free kick from. So they have to move it a little bit behind.
Deny Bobo with a long punt forward. Quality defending. One into the midfield by Asha Jaffrey. Jaffrey plays to Monique. Monique leaves it for Phoebe Owiti. She thought it's on an offside. And there's Mudaisy. Mudaisy picked by Clement. Clement won by Mudaisy. Mudaisy, the long punt forward from Vivian Makoha. Makoha loses it out to Zingano. Again, clearance there from Silemani. Silemani still in possession of the ball. And a handball by Maslin Anyango. It's a foul. The ladies in white, Simba Queens from Tanzania. Big one for Silemani, trying to find Flavin. Goalkeeper Lilian Awar picks the ball up and goalkeeper, of course, the coach very, very offensively moving up and down the touchline. Ball played out. Alice Muderi. Muderi, the right back on the Vihiga Queens side, into the midfield to Morina Cheng, and it's a foul. A foul by Evariste Tosi on Morina Cheng, who started making some inroads in that Simba Queens rear guard.
Well, that is the second booking we're seeing this afternoon here. And the Simba Queens defense now have two players on cards, and they really have to be careful. If they get any more infringement, it's going to be very, very tough for coach, and he'll have to make some very tough decisions.
Absolutely. In the 45th minute of the game, it's a big fun forward. Goalkeeper comes out. Again, another good shot there coming from deep mid from John Navire. And it's actually a goal kick. Well, good shot there coming in from Joan Nabire. Ball was floated. Goalkeeper comes out. Zubeda Mgunda doesn't put her hands firmly onto the ball. And from that rebound, Joan Nabire not hitting the ball right. Well, 46 minutes on the clock. Shamira Nabada from Uganda calling the shots here and sending us to the halftime break. Of course, at this particular point in time, none of these two teams having had a shot on goal. And as we speak, Simba Queens are tying 0-0 against the Vihiga Queens of Kenya. Well, it's been a tough outing here. One goal attempt from both sides and on target. Of course, the Queens have had two corners against the Vihiga Queens, one. No record so far, and two yellow cards that have been given to Evariste Tosi and Violet Mwanakamba, the captain on the Simba Queens side. So far, it's a well-organized game, and we shall take you to the halftime break.
Well, it's halftime at the Nyayo National Stadium. The Battle of the Queens and stalemate after 45 minutes. No goals, Simba Queens versus Vihiga Queens of Kenya. It's the semi-final of the CECAFA Champions League right here at the Nyayo National Stadium. That first half was mostly Simba Queens, I tell you what. Though the stats there may tell you a little bit of a different story. Gladys, you are in the commentary booth. The stats say 50% in terms of ball possession, and then goal attempts, 8 versus 6. The attempts on target is 1 each. But from my naked eye, from where I was seated, it's been all red. It's been all Wekundu Msimbazi for the most of that first half.
Well, James, the interesting thing about this game is that this game was actually won in the midfield, and hence the reason why they're giving the statistics as 50-50. If you look at where the number of yellow cards are coming in from, they're always coming in from either half, where Vihiga Queens were trying to attack, or when Simba Queens were trying to attack, we would see an infringement there. So at the end of the day, it is 50-50. We've not seen the goalkeepers really having much of a test, aside from the 2 set pieces that the Simba Queens got, and we saw Lilian Awar getting the ball. It's really not been much. For me, I can say I'm disappointed. I was expecting goals in this first half. These Queens are too cautious. And I think whoever scores the first goal in this game will actually decide how this game goes, the direction in which it will take.
Elijah, she says it's been 50-50. I think you have a different opinion. Who's been the better team
Definitely.
in the first half?
I mean, it's been like 80-20.
Really?
There's a huge contrast between these two teams, the way Simba play and the way Vihiga play. With Simba, they have a plan. They know what they're going to do. They're getting the balls quickly into the Vihiga half. They're 1-2 passes, they're in the final third. And that's what you want to see from a team playing in the semi-final in a tournament, because we have only 90 minutes. If we don't score 90 minutes, we get extra time, then penalties. We don't want that. We want to finish the game within the 90 minutes. So what do? Let's play as quick as possible. Let's try and get the ball into the box. However, we have to give the Vihiga defense credit, because they have attacked and they have defended vehemently. And the right back, the Fatma for Suleiman, for Simba, oh my goodness, what a player she is. If you count the number of take-ons, it could be heading to 10. You know?
She has had an incredible half. I do agree with you. Yes. You can see how good her throw-ins in. She's winning very good fouls for them in their opponent's half. So she's really been very, very instrumental. But again, look, on the flip side, let's look at the central defense of the Vihiga Queens. They've been absolutely phenomenal. They've kept Kipoi out of the ball at all times. She's not had a chance to show us her brilliance in this match. So really, it's really, really a tough call. And I know you're saying 80-20, but I'm still going 50-50.
I'll probably try and explain what Elijah is getting at. I mean, when Simba play, you sort of see a game plan and a game pattern. More often than not, when Vihiga get the ball, of this 50-50%.
Yeah.
Is it possible for Vihiga to be a bit more expansive, to try and pass the ball a bit more from the midfield going into attack rather than keep trying to look for the quick ball up front?
I think they've been trying to do that, but look at how quiet Maureen Aching how quiet the first half Maureen Aching has had. They've completely cut off supply, and she's usually very good with the 50-50 balls. So the two central defenders of the Simba Queens side have actually pushed in a little bit deeper, hence they're not giving her space to run in. That's cutting off supply for Vihiga Queens. That is why you're seeing Vihiga Queens trying to get the ball into the flanks. So Maureen Aching's supply has been cut off. She has no answers, nothing to give Terry and Gentrix and Violet. And so it's been very, very difficult for them. That is why if you look at the midfield, it's the referee keeps blowing her whistle all the time because of the number of tackles and the number of fouls. So when you say 80-20, I'm still going to
80-20 because
disagree with you.
if you look at the formation, what Vihiga trying to do is like 2 versus 8. It's Catenaccio type of football because when the goalkeeper has the ball, she hits it forward. Forward, you have Gentrix. It's 2 versus 4, 2 versus 6. They're outnumbered in the forward part. But when it comes to the midfield, and that's what you've been alluding to, Maureen Aching has been nowhere to be seen. One team has come to the party, the other team has.
But look
not
at
come
how
to the party.
well Joanna Bire has actually been.
Yes.
She's been very, very good for the Vihiga side. I think they've converted back into a 4-2-3-1 formation, slightly more defensive than what we were expecting from the 4-4-3. And when they lose the ball, they revert back to that. And that has actually worked for them. So in this second half, we're hoping, James, really, that we can see more open play. As you've said, the Simba side are really trying to attack. But if one of those counter attacks happens to just get Terry Egesha in the right foot, we could be talking about something very, very different because these two goalkeepers really have been helping us watch the game.
Well, speaking of what's happened in that first 45, let's look at an attempt by Simba and Flavin. We spoke about her at the start and we said, you know what, this girl is a star. She's one to watch out for. And here it is once again, Simba starting off at the back. And this is maybe what Elijah is talking about, that Simba seemed to be very clear about what are we doing, how are we doing it. And there you have it. She goes right past one defender, past the second one, really making a move towards the box. And the cross, maybe the cross, she doesn't quite get it, Gladys. But
she didn't get that cross because of that little body check she was given. But again, look at that run, James, all the way, just 2 passes, goalkeeper, defender, and then to her. She makes use of that line. Now, one thing that a lot of people, if anyone who's watched the Vihiga game, they did notice that their wing backs tend to actually try and make the runs.
Yes.
But in this particular game, they're not making any runs. They're being very, very careful. They're winning all the balls because they know if they give that lady space, she's going to cause damage. And look at that, very clever play. She used her outer foot just to show you, by the way, you guys, I'm very comfortable with the ball. I know what I can do with it.
Elijah, I enjoy watching her and I enjoy watching Monique on the other side. Her first touch is also unbelievable. Really, really, really good. And that's the one thing that has stood out for me as far as Simba are concerned. Just their touch, their first touch. That one, I agree with you, way better than Vihiga.
Yes.
Absolutely. You can see there's a whole difference between the way the Vihiga players control the ball and the way the Simba players control the ball. The first touch is absolutely imperative. And for Queens, the reason for Simba Queens, the reason why they're getting past the Vihiga Queens players quite easily is because of their fast touch. They know how the fast touch, they don't stop the ball with the fast touch. The fast touch, they control the ball heading towards the direction they want to take the play. And we could see Sanga. There's a pass she was given, one touch, she turned. And
yes.
Who did she have there? Musolo was there, open, pass it. And it makes the ball look so easy. I mean, Simba are making it look so easy. The only thing that they are not doing right is the final ball in the box. If
James,
they get it right, this game is done and
James,
dusted.
Ellie,
However,
Ellie.
Let's do this, guys. Let's do this, guys. Let's do this.
Let me just say this.
Yes.
In the last game, Vihiga Queens had a poor first half. Okay? Then the second half, they scored 7 goals. So what they're going to be told in the changing room is going to determine what the
Well,
outcome of this game.
Well, speaking of Vihiga, let's look at someone who Gladys has said was really, really good today. Joanna Biria with this attempt. I mean, there haven't been many coming this way, but this is quite possibly one right towards the end. Thrown in there, keeper makes a meal of it, but then the shot just sort of trickles wide.
A very, very weak shot, if you ask me. They usually have very good power on their feet when they're taking this kind of shots. And those are the kind of dangerous balls that if you look at even the positioning of Vihiga Queens, look at how many numbers they had. There are only 4 players. 4 against 6 players, if you ask me. And, if she would have taken, look at Maureen. Maureen
Yes.
actually knows how to get those 50-50 balls. And so when it was brought back, Joanne did the right thing by trying to bring it in, but it was not dangerous. Very, very weak. They can do better.
Those numbers you've said there is what Ellie has been talking about all along. He wants to see more numbers committed going forward.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the benches. That's Simba. Who do they use to change the game if they need to change the game, Ellie? What do you think? Who do you think they look
For now, I
at?
don't think you need anybody to change the game. They're doing everything right. They just have to get the passes into the box. But Aisha Nunka, she's the one for me. She can come into the game and change the game.
If you need changing, that is. But it's a perfect squad.
Gladys,
Well, so far,
for Kenya or for Vihiga?
so far so good. The Vihiga Queens have been exceptionally disciplined. They've grown into this game and into this tournament. Probably, Maureen has had a bit of a very, very quiet game. This is a game I'd love to see Topista Situma. She didn't have a very good first game in this tournament, but hopefully she's watched this game and she's learned a few things. The one thing I'd want Topista to come in for is her left foot.
Well, I tell you what, this is why football is such an interesting sport. My 2 analysts have got differing views of how that first 45 went. So why don't we join Gilbert Celeboa for the second 45? Hopefully at the end of it all, they will have a consensus about what has happened. So second half, coming up.
Well, thank you very much, James Okabi, Ellie Okoth, and Gladys Midecha for those views on the touchline. Well, we are back at the Nyayo National Stadium where Vihiga Queens is battling it out with the Simba Queens of Tanzania in the semi-finals of the CAF Women's Champions League CECAFA qualifiers. Well, the first half, as we say, has been buried, and both teams are walking back to the pitch knowing that it's only 45 minutes for them to decide who gets into the finals. Well, the referee of the day is Shamira Nabada from Uganda, assisted by the first assistant Nakito Nkumbi from Uganda, second assistant Yelfashwa Kasahun of Ethiopia, and of course the fourth official Swabi Siratunga of Burundi. Match commissioner today is Aisha Narure of Uganda. Shamira Nabada sets her clock, and to set us off will be the Simba Queens playing from the left of your screen to the right of your screen. Vihiga Queens playing from the left to the right, and of course the team in white, Simba Queens, playing from the right of your screen to the left. Monique Kipoi, and that is a foul. That is a foul by Phoebe Owiti, who has been outstanding in that box, and referee calls that for a foul. And of course, Phoebe Owiti goes into the box, into the referee's books. First yellow card on the Vihiga Queens side. Well, Joella Bukuru with that free kick. 35 yards distance from goal. Joella Bukuru. And she drops the ball back there, trying to get hold of Clement Sanga. Again, the ball really not hitting its mark.
Gilbert, way too heavy. She didn't look up when she was taking that free kick. Wasted chance, if you ask me. Right now, you want to try and lock in the game as early as possible. Tactically speaking, Vihiga Queens and Simba Queens are giving us a mouth-watering encounter here.
Mouth-watering encounter, as the analysts have rightly put it. The first half has fairly belonged to the ladies in white, the Queens, they controlled the proceedings of this game. And of course, the first half, Vihiga Queens sitting back and trying to hit Gentrix Chicago on the counter. Will they maintain the same focus and the same strategy in the second half? Or they will continue playing behind the ball? To the left, Mudezi. Mudezi doesn't hit the mark, trying to get to Teresa Engesha. But again, the ball rolls out at this point in time for a throw-in. Alice Muderi. Muderi plays it to Violet Wanyonyi. Back to Muderi, into the midfield for Joan Nabiria. Nabiria back to Vivian Makoha with a long punt forward, trying to get hold of Teresa Engesha. Again, those long balls, Gladys, those long balls, trying to find to find the space in between the Simba Queens defenders and the goalkeeper. The long balls just going too close to the goalkeeper. And I think at this point in time, Vihiga should change tact.
Well, that tact is not working, I do agree. But, they're trying to find spaces in that defense. And probably they should try and pass the ball a little bit more. Make use of their very good midfielders, the likes of Joanne and Maureen. They really have not shown us how much they can attack.
Violet Wanyonyi. Violet Wanyonyi, again, trying to bring across. Again, the ball had actually rolled out of play.
Well, she actually does take those shots very, very well, and the goalkeeper just, losing it a little bit, spilling it, and she's very hawk-eyed there, getting that ball from Violet Wanyonyi. Violet Wanyonyi is a lady who came from Falcons, a team that was based in Eldoret. She was recently acquired by Vihiga Queens. Lady who also knows how the back of the net is a beautiful place to collect the ball from.
Absolutely. Tight marking on Clement Sanga. Sanga plays ball back to Bobo. Bobo to Evariste. While her first touch lets her down for a throw-in. Alice Muderi. Muderi. The long part forward, trying to get to Joan. Joan back to Morina Cheng. Cheng. Alice Muderi. Muderi with a long punt forward, trying to get to Gentrix, but good interception there by the Simba defender, Singano. Big punt forward, trying to get to Gentrix Shikangwa, but again, solid performance there from the diminutive Sulemani Fatma, right back on the Simba Queens side. Long throw, trying to get to Flavin Mawete. Mawete Musolo. Mawete Musolo. Mawete Musolo, it's a good run there. Solid performance again from Phoebe Owiti. This player, Flami Mawete Musolo, 5 goals to her credit. Just muzzling our way through a forest of legs. Again, solid performance by Vivian Makoha. Again, good run again from Flavin Mawete Musolo. But again, very, very good defensive play from the diminutive Maslin Anyango, donning number 8. Back into the midfield, Gentrix plays to Teresa Engesha. Engesha plays the ball wide to Wanyonyi. Violet tries to get the ball to Maslin Acheng. Acheng plays the ball wide to Gentrix. Gentrix on a favorite foot. Gentrix, but solid display there from the captain, Biot Monakamba. Gets the ball to Sulemani. And it's a foul on Sulemani Fatma by Maslin Anyango.
Nowhere near the ball, and Marcelino Nyango is already apologizing to the referee for that infringement. But Fatma Suleiman, what a game she has had. And, the referee is telling her, you did this once, you did this twice. The third time, I'm going to book you. So she has to be extremely careful, Marcelina Nyango there.
Absolutely. Mwanakamba with a free kick. Long punt forward, trying to get to Suleimani. Again, solid performance from Gentrix, who's gone back to play as a left forward. Gentrix Chikangwa playing in the offense on the left-hand side of the attack. Suleimani, Moniki Poi. Monique Poi again plays the ball back to Bobo. Bobo again, she loses it out. Now with an opportunity there by Violet. Violet Wanyonyi. Violet plays it to Teresa Engesha. Engesha wide to Gentrix. Gentrix into the box and solid performance. You would say she took too long. It was 3v2, but quick feet by the Simba defenders just ensures that the scoreline stays the same. Again, back into the midfield. Vihiga asking questions here. Big cross, big header there. But again, it doesn't hit the target from Teresa Engesha.
Well, Gilbert, if you look at that build-up, I wish we could get the first build-up there, but very good effort from Terry Agesha. Not her favorite place to be in, ball watching as she was getting that header, but that was a good job. But in the fast build-up, Gilbert, really, I think Violet Wanyoni should have done better.
Every Mudezi back to Phoebe. Phoebe plays the ball back, trying to get to the striker, but again, quality performance there by Monakamba. Monakamba doesn't make a good pass, won by Slimani. Slimani with a long punt, trying to get to Clement Sanga. Again, mix up there from the Vihiga Queens. Ball still in play again. Joella Bukuru with an opportunity to strike a shot. Had 2 minds and did make a correct pass.
Well, look at that. Very good play early on. That was... And look at how they won that ball. Marceline Nyango there. That was Maureen Ching who actually did it. And look at that run from Violet Wanyoni. Surely she should have passed the ball way earlier. It was she passed it behind Terry Agesha, and then Terry Agesha had to now wait for Gentrix to come back, but surely she should have passed that ball faster, given it to Terry to make that run, and we would have been talking goals right now.
Absolutely. Golden opportunity there that has been lost by the Vihiga Queens. The first time that they had a solid break, but took too long, and quick reorganization by the Simba Queens brought them back into the fold. Clement Sanga, Bobo. Again, really, both teams giving each other no space at all to be able to do any meaningful build-up.
Well, really, that was Maureen Ching there losing the ball easily to the Simba Queens. The Simba Queens win it. Tactically speaking, Vihiga Queens need to up their game. The Simba Queens have been tactically superior, and now we're seeing more attack, but really nothing much from this Vihiga Queens side. If they are able to string 2-3 passes, this Simba Queens, they can upset the Vihiga Queens.
Well, I think Vihiga Queens have resorted to playing defensive, because you do expect that there are 2 holding midfielders, that is Maureen Cheng and Marcelina Nyango, could push even more forward to try and assist the forward line. But again, once they give the pass, it just fizzles out. On the right, Violet Wanyonyi again, indecisive.
She was not sure whether she wanted to put the ball ahead of her or put it into the space. So had she made that decision very early, again, she would have punished this Simba Queens.
Joanne, Maslin back to Alice Muderi, Maslin Anyango to Joanne playing the wide to try and get to Vivian Makoha into the midfield to Maureen Chieng wide to Enes Mudezi back, trying to get hold of Teresa Engesha. rolling the ball to Gentry Shikangwa. But again, solid performance there by Monakamba, the captain on the Simba Queens side. Again, won by Enes Mudezi. Mudezi plays the ball to Teresa Engesha, and again, quality performance there from Viot Monakamba, the captain. A throw-in, long throw-in there, just picks up, and the ball still in the danger zone here. Goalkeeper comes out at the nick of time to pick that very, very dangerous ball.
And look at that replay. That was captain there. Really, a lot of, a lot of, a lot of action going on in that.
Indecision. Well, and of course, when you have about 4 feet, and there's an appeal for a handball actually on Phoebe, on Evariste Tosi, but I think the referee Shamira Nabada from Uganda didn't see that, and when the referee doesn't see it, then it never happened.
Well, we don't have VAR here, but hopefully in a few years we'll be talking about something different. And well, I think Vihiga Queens should have taken that opportunity better, because sometimes when you wait for such things to happen, for such appeals to go your way, it really doesn't make it count. Look at that. They both missed the ball. Good shot. A good shot would have been taken there by Gentrix. Again, the goalkeeper just coming to push her way in to get that ball.
Absolutely. Very, very pensive moments there from the coaches of the bench. Another build-up from the back. Julieta Singano. Singano plays the ball to Monakamba. Monakamba with a long punt forward. Well, picked again in the midfield by Joan Nabire. Well, back to Clement Sanga. Sanga. She loses it to Wanyonyi. Wanyonyi, again, a battle in the midfield. Wanyonyi still in possession. Loses it again to Singano. Singano back to Danai Bobo. Bobo plays it wide, won by Enes Mudezi. Enes Mudezi, Teresa Engesha still, but again, a nice steal by Slimani Fatma, who has had an outstanding match as a defender on the right back position for the Simba Queens. Back in the midfield. Long punt forward by Alice Muderi. Muderi, again, the not correct pass, picked by Gentrix. Gentrix, shot intercepted in the midfield. Maslina Nyango. Back to Morina Acheng. Acheng to the right back. Alice Muderi. Muderi, Acheng. Acheng, wow, indecisiveness there. Ball picked out by Evariste Tosi. Tosi, the long punt forward, trying to get to Clement. Clement again comes out very, very solid. Phoebe Awiti. And ball goes all the way to the goalkeeper, Zubeda Ugunda. Ugunda, the long punt forward, trying to get to Flavin Mavete. Mavete, back to Joella. Joella to Clement Sanga. Sanga, again. Vihiga Queens, Vivian Makoha comes in at the nick of time and clears the ball for a throw-in. Evariste Tosi to the most dangerous player, Monique. She loses it out. Big fan forward, picked by Bobo, the pass master. Again, into the defender, Giulietta Singano. Singano, again, she loses it out.
She does lose it out to her. That is Morina Ching there on your screen. She just got a little bit nick on her toes, and that could be that is usually very painful, Gil. But I know as a coach, a former coach, you've been seeing a lot of those kind of nicks there.
Absolutely, it could be painful. It could be career-ending tackle. Again, she is back on her feet. Alice Muderi. Alice Muderi. Alice Muderi with a long punt forward. Picked in the midfield again. It gets to Gentrix. Gentrix Shikangwa. And Gentrix, and solid performance from Suleimani Fatma. Still ball in play. Enes Mudezi, the captain on the Vihiga Queens side. Ball won by Clement Sanga. Sanga brought down in the midfield. Wow, Sanga, she's had very, very serious marking from the Vihiga Queens. Wherever she goes, she's followed, she's been tracked.
You know, she's being followed everywhere, the way a shadow follows you. And really, you don't want to give her space because she is giving the supply to their wingers. So very, very crucial to make sure that she's not being given any of that space. And that is obstruction, a little bit of obstruction there.
Daisy, Evariste Tosi. Tosi, battle in the air, fixed by Teresa. Teresa loses it to Suleiman Fatma. Fatma, long fan trying to get to Flavin Mavete. Mavete loses it out, picked by Awiti. Awiti, long ball trying to get to Clement. Clement, again, the midfield Evariste Tosi comes in and wins a corner kick for the Vihiga Queens.
Well, Gilbert, we are seeing the first substitution of this match. Captain Violet Mwamkamba is making way for Maimuna Kaimu. Violet Mwamkamba is making way for Maimuna Kaimu. And I think coach has realized that Violet is on a yellow card, and she is also looking a little bit uncomfortable. And now we are seeing Fatma Suleiman, the lady who's been on our screens every time, taking on duties of the captain.
Corner kick. Enes Mudezi, big punt forward. Goalkeeper comes out, drops it, and it's a goal! Just when everyone thought that it's all over, goalkeeper Zubeda Mgunda, from a corner kick, fails to put her hands firmly onto the ball, drops it in the path of Maureen Acheng. Maureen Acheng with a header, a free header, to score her 7th goal of the tournament.
And this girl always knows where to place herself. Look at that header. She looked at where the goalkeeper was. The goalkeeper had already made that clearance, and Maureen got it, and the infringement the keeper got was actually from her own player. Look at that. And you know, that high boot would again have resulted to a probability of a penalty there, because that was a very, very dangerous area. And this girl, Maureen Achieng, we are seeing her score her 7th goal of this tournament. She and 50-50 balls have a very close relationship, Gilbert.
Absolutely, absolutely. Maureen Achieng. Maureen Achieng at the nick of time. Goalkeeper comes out. She really doesn't put her hands on the ball, and a 50-50 ball there in the box. Maureen Achieng to soar high and collect her 7th goal of the tournament. Well, now the page has flipped.
The page has flipped, and the Kenyans.
And in the 65th minute, Simba Queens trailing Vihiga Queens by 1-0. A game in our hands, Midecha.
An absolutely thrilling game, and you can tell you how tight it is, because look at the scoreline, Gilbert. No one was expecting that at this particular point of the match we would not have very many goals.
Well, they've been defending for 65 minutes, and from a corner kick, they scored, and they've now gone back again into the defensive mode. And I can tell you for sure that Simba Queens are not going to sit back. They will try and push more people forward and open up this game even more. Ball in the midfield. Morina Cheng. Well, she leaves it to Joan Nabire with a big punt forward. Julieta Singano. Singano gives it to Maimuna Kaimuni. Maimuna back to Slimani, who has now dropped back into a central defensive role. Big punt forward. Again, that's a run by Joella Bukuru. Goalkeeper Liliana Ward can now easily check off some time onto the clock by slowing down the game.
Well, we see most keepers lying down when they get such opportunities. You know, when they know their team is well ahead, they just lay down to waste a little bit of time and give their teammates time to get a breath of fresh air. But
Absolutely. If there is a team that is not going to sit back to get any breath, is the team on the ball right now. There's a ball on the left-hand side by Evariste Tosi into the midfield. Maslin battling it out. Solid defender, Morina Cheng. Teresa Engesha. Engesha, again, picked out by Evariste Tosi. Big punt by Bobo. Bobo trying to get to Clement. Clement, again, lost at the very opportune time. Picked by Phoebe Awiti. Awiti plays wide to Enes Mudeizi. Enes Mudeizi. And to the striker, Teresa Engesha. Engesha tries to play a long punt to Gentry Chikangwa, picked by Evariste Tosi. Tosi plays to Monique. Monique again, solid performance there from Alice Muderi, and she kicks the ball for a throw-in.
well,
Another substitution coming in for Monique Kipoi, goes number 10, Aisha Mununka. Aisha Mununka coming in place of Monique Kipoi. What do you make of that substitution?
well, it's a very, very, very tough tactical substitution. She has not been able to get anything into this game. She's been well marked and probably just a little bit change, fresh legs here to make sure that they're going to give a little bit of headache to that Vihiga defense. She is a lethal striker. She knows how to get those goals. She knows when to score those winning goals. So this is just more assignment for the Vihiga defense.
Well, more assigning for the Vihiga defense. Aisha Mnunka coming in place of Monique Kipoi, who's literally been marked out of this game in the first half. Foul on Clement Sanga.
Well, look at that. This obstruction rather, there by Phoebe Okech, who's already on a yellow card, so she needs to be absolutely careful not to do much to infringement.
Bobo with a long punt there, trying to get to Flavia Mabende. What a way to make a comeback in this game. Well floated ball there to Flavian Mavete Musolo. And this is a player who's barely being on the field, Aisha Mnunka. Aisha Mnunka, 1 minute, her first touch onto the ball. She gets into a prime position. And what a way to make an entrance.
Well, Gilbert, I've just talked about her and I told you that she knows when to score and she scores when it matters. And if you look at that defense, the Vihiga defense was caught napping. They were still not ready. They were still trying to organize themselves. And really, that is how you score a goal, just to make sure that you're not making the opponent too comfortable. And now Vihiga have to make sure that they are sealing those loopholes. And on this other side, Simba Queens are going to try and keep attacking.
Flavia into the midfield, Joella. Again, back to Alice Muderi in the midfield. Maslin Anyango. Anyango picked by Bobo. Bobo loses it to Morina Cheng. Cheng, Gentrix. Gentrix back to Cheng. Cheng trying to get to Teresa again. Serious defensive play there. Back to Flavin Mawete. Mawete again brought down by Alice Muderi.
Well, Alice Muderi says she won the ball, and she did win the ball. However, the tackle looked dangerous, and that is why the referee stopped play. She did win the ball. Her legs were still out, both of them out. So, good call by the referee.
Foul again, picked by Danai Bobo. One goal to her credit. Bobo with a long pass there, but this time round, she doesn't pick on anyone, and the ball rolls out for a goal kick. Well, the two number 10s are at the toast of the day here. Maureen Acheng, donning number 10 for Vihiga with the 65th minute goal, and of course, Aisha Mnuk, donning number 10 for Simba, coming in, and the first touch onto the ball in the 70th minute. She puts Simba, she ties the game for Simba. Again, Singano, Bobo. Long punt again, Clement Sanga. Beautiful control there. And the referee intimates that she had an infringement on NS Mudeizi.
Well, we can just see a little bit of the push there with her hand trying to nag her off, and none of them are on the ball.
Well, still the long balls on both sides of the divide. Well, none of these teams wants to go through the midfield. I think they want the easier route out. And another long ball from the goalkeeper there, Alice Muderi, into the midfield, won by Aisha Mnunka. Mnunka, Evariste Tosi. Tosi, Flavian Mavete. Mavete, Tosi. Tosi with a long pass trying to get to Clement. Again, intercepted by Vivian Makoha. Another solid performance there by Asha Jafari. Sets up Gentrix. Gentrix again with a poor pass picked up by Sulemani Fatma. Fatma to the new player, Maimuna Kaimu. Maimuna Kaimu, not an easy outing there. Again, throw ball. Clement Sanga. Maimuna with a long punt there, trying to get to Aisha. Again, still Simba not leaving it to chance. And they are asking questions here. They're pushing up numbers. Kaimu to Bukuru picked out by Enes Mudezi, and the second assistant, Yalfashwa Kasahun from Ethiopia, calls for a foul.
Well, clever play there, very, very clever play there by Marcelina Nyango, picking the pass to Mudezi, who got infringed.
A long punt up there. Try to get to Violet Wanyonyi, who's been quiet in the second half. Well, the referee says Maimuna should move back. Sulemani Fatma. Sulemani Fatma. Big fan forward. Again, solid performance there by Joanna Nabire. Again, back to Fatma. Fatma She just
You
stood in
know,
her way.
she just stood in her way, like a roadblock right there.
She's from the bigger side, notwithstanding a big punt by Bobo to Flavian, and of course, Aisha Mnuk, who had just come in the 70th minute to tie the game for the Simba Queens. Gentrick Shikangwa. Shikangwa followed by Sulemani. Shikangwa by Blood. And it actually hits the side netting. That is a good run from the left-hand side by Gentrix Chikangwa. The number 14 striker on the Vihiga Queens side with a good run. But again, her technique was good.
Look
The
at
direction
that.
was not there.
Look at that, Gilbert. She just looked at how the defenders were standing and she knew this time she could outrun them. Denied by the side netting, but very, very good inside. She looked at where the keeper was standing and had it just gone, curved in slightly, a little bit inward, we would have been talking about something else.
Absolutely. Mudeizi back into the midfield from Maslin Anyango, Wanyonyi, Anyango picked by Bobo loses it, Asha Jaffrey, Suleiman Fatma, Clement against Mudeizi. Clement against Mudeizi, plays it wide to Tosi again tries to play the ball to Clement, back to Aisha, goalkeeper comes in at the nick of time, goalkeeper Lilian Awar. But again, what a build-up from the Simba Queens side.
A very, very beautiful build-up there, and miscommunication in that Vihiga defense might just have cost them a second goal, and we're seeing Lilian Awar here a little bit injured, and look at Gentrix Shikangwa controlling that ball all the way from the midfield, making that beautiful run there from the left side. And Fatma Suleiman really just hoping that nothing would come out of it. And very, very clever play there from Gentrix. And
well, that's stomping on the goalkeeper there. And I think Vihiga Queens have made a substitution. They brought in Janet Bundi in place of Violet Wanyonyi. Janet Bundi donning number 7. Janet Bundi coming in from Violet Wanyonyi. This is another very, very fast player on the Vihiga side. So it's a forward for a forward.
It's a forward for a forward. Probably they're seeing that Violet Wanyonyi is not getting enough of the ball. Coach decides to bring in fresh legs, someone who can bully that defense. Janet is bigger, way bigger, slightly bigger than Violet Wanyonyi, and let her size not lie to you.
Well, remember at 4, Lady Dolls of Uganda will be battling it out against the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia in the second semi-finals of the CAF Women's Champions League CECAFA qualifiers right here at Nyayo National Stadium. So don't go far. Gentrick Chikangwa from a distance of about 40 yards. Simba putting up a 2-man wall or a 2-lady wall. Gentrick Shikangwa packs power on her left foot, and she comes in, takes a shot, again blocked very well there by Clement Sanga picked by Alice Muderi, and Alice Muderi fouling Flavin Mavete.
Well, really, Gilbert.
Well, she got hold of the ball.
Got hold of the ball.
It's the intention that was not right.
Yes, got hold of the ball.
So I think the referee has called for intention. And
Well,
Flavin wasn't touched in that particular instance. Foul. Julita Singano. Well, close your screen. There is Flavin Mavete Musolo. Again, Clement. That's a good fast touch by Clement. And had it not be for Vivian Makoka's reaction, Clement should have been on for the second goal. But very, very good defending there from Vivian Makoha.
Good man marking, as you've correctly put it,
Lady
Gilbert.
marking.
Lady marking, if I may. Oh, Gilbert, I tell you, it's the term.
It's the term.
It's the term.
Good. Well, Evarista Tosi. Back to Aisha. Aisha picked up by Maureen. Maureen back to Muderi. Muderi trying to get hold of Janet Bunda. And Janet Bunda with a good run against Suleimani. Very, very, very solid performance from Suleimani, who's donning the captaincy after Violet Wanakamba exited the scene. And looks like Aisha Mununka, the scorer of the first goal for Simba, who came in for Monique Poi, is on the floor, intimating that she may have been injured at some point.
Well, let's just look at it. Actually, it was a 50-50 situation. There were four players all on the ball. She got a little bit of a knock there. It's a little bit uncomfortable.
Well, again, a long punt by Bobo and a quick interception there by Flavin Mawete. And of course, Aisha Mnunka, number 10, just lacking in that space and has the easiest of chances to at least put the ball into the net.
And you can see the reaction on Lillian's face. Not exactly excited about it, but look at the delight from the Simba Queens. They are absolutely delighted.
Absolutely delighted. Evariste Tosi. Tosi tries to play ball to the midfield. Asha Jaffrey back to the diminutive, very, very solid defender, Julieta Singano. Goalkeeper Zubeda Mgunda. Suleimani Fatma. Suleiman Fatma. Flavin Mawete. Up, Alice Muderi. Muderi to Janet. Janet with solid run there again. Very, very good defending from the holding midfielder there, Janai Bobo. Troy.
Well, Gilbert, remember I told you that Janet Bundi has strength. And you can see it and how she's taking on defenders, not fouling them, just making sure that she's getting them off the ball properly.
Absolutely. It's a throw-in by Evariste Tosi. Evariste Tosi, Danai Bobo. Bobo, cleared by Alice Muderi. Muderi, again, strong performance for Nsigano for a throw-in. Alice Muderi, long punt trying to get to Janet Bundi. Janet, again, a foul by the tiny Evariste Tosi.
Oh, Gilbert.
Oh,
you know, Janet just put herself in a position where she knew.
Wow.
Sometimes
That is football.
the theatrics of it, and you wonder how she does it.
Alice Muderi with a free kick into the box. Muderi, header! Gentrix Shikangwa. Gentrix Shikangwa. From a well-floated ball by Alice Muderi. Right in the box. Simba failing to clear. She rises up above everyone and places herself in the right moment for a beautiful header.
Well, look at that set piece. And remember, Gilbert, we did say earlier on in this match that this Vihiga Queens know how to float those set pieces into the box. So the Simba Queens have to be extremely careful about how they are defending those set pieces. And look at the reaction of the goalkeeper.
Well, 2 goals from 2 set pieces, and a very, very delighted coach there, Charles Okere,
The
for
bench.
a standing coach for the Vihiga Queens. And what a way for Gentrix Shikangwa, one of the most solid strikers for Vihiga Queens, to put the Vihiga Queens ahead in the 88th minute on 2 goals to Simba's 1. What a time and what a place for what a player. 88 minutes, only 2 minutes to the close of this game. And of course, the most instrumental central defender, Suleiman Fatma.
Let's
Injured.
look at that incident, Gilbert, there. She just floated it in. And I think as she was floating in the air there, Gentrix, when she was landing, she actually caught Fatma, who was already down, Gilbert. Looks like a nasty injury there. She just might be stretched off, Gilbert.
Well, we just hope that Suleiman Fatma, who has had a solid performance, Alice Muderi with a floated pass in the box. Look at the way she rises up and angles her head downwards, and it just brings out tears from the eyes of the fellow players on the bench. And Gentrix Shikangwa brings this game to a very, very, very pulsating moment. Now, will they keep on defending, or will they keep on pushing forward? Janet Bundi, a quick throw there by Tosi. Mabete loses it. Back into the midfield, Maslin Anyango to Janet Bundi, back into the midfield to Anyango, back to Vivian Makoha into the midfield to Anyango plays wide to Eneza Mudezi on the left-hand side, Vihiga enjoying their time here, and the through ball to Teresa Engesha doesn't really hit the back. Again, Vihiga looking very, very, very solid, especially on set pieces. And there is a sub. I think Selemani did not make it back. And Zena Rashid comes in to try at least salvage a point. Well, another good shot coming in there, but goalkeeper Lilian Awar enjoying her moments.
Well, what a loss for Simba Queens, the loss of Fatma to Lehman. But the very able Zaina Rashid coming in, and look at that shot again. This lady has just come in the second half and already causing jitters in that defense.
Well, she has an eye for the ball. Back in the midfield, Maslin Anyango plays wide to Enes Mudezi with a long punt. Gentrix trying to get to her midfield general, Maslin Anyango. Again, solid performance by Bobo. Plays the ball out for a throw-in. Well, Teresa Engesha, Enes Mudezi, goalkeeper Zubeda Mgunda with the long punt forward. Well, ball still in play here, and Gentrix Shikangwa has been caught in an offside position by the first assistant Nakito Nkumbi of Uganda. And Shamira Napada from Uganda, the center referee, calls this game to an end. And Charles Okere, the standing coach for Vihiga Queens, in a very, very, very delighted moment here. They have rolled into the finals at the expense of the Simba Queens from Tanzania. A dejected group and a delighted group on the one side. Well, the team in yellow, of course, have really had a nice afternoon there with the quality team tactics here that have won their game today. And of course, in a very, very delighted mood. They started on a wrong note, having lost by 4-2 to the CB of Ethiopia, and have a chance also to meet CBE, who will be playing in the second match in the afternoon against Lady Dars. And Flavin Mawete Musolo, who has been outmatched in this particular game, goes out in a very, very somber mood. Janai Bobo, the pass master, whose cross in the 70th minute awarded them the equalizer by this young girl, Aisha Mnuk, number 10. Well, what a way to make a comeback in this tournament. Well, no one believed that after Vihiga Queens lost to the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia, they were going to make a comeback. But they've come back extremely strongly. And Zubeda Mgunda, goalkeeper on Simba Queens side, knows that they had it. But again, they lost it at the right opportune time. And in the 65th minute from a corner, again, the goalkeeper flaps it to Maureen Achieng with the first goal of the game. There was a reciprocation by Aisha Munuk in the 70th minute, a tap-in by Aisha Munuk in the 70th minute. And of course, when we thought that we were going to extra time, a good cross by Alice Muderi was picked up in the air by Gentry Shikangwa, who scores the 6th goal of the game. And from Asomya National Stadium, Simba Queens have lost by 2-1 against Vihiga Queens on full time. Of course, the Vihiga Queens are with 55% against 45% ball possession. Both teams had 10 goal attempts and 3 goals on target. Out of the 3 goals on target, Vihiga managed to score 2, and of course, Queens scoring 1. 2 yellow cards on the Simba side, Vihiga only 1. No red cards, 2 offsides for Simba, and 1 offside for Vihiga Queens. And in the highlights of the day, of course, the 2 teams marching on to the field with a lot of expectations from both sides of the divide. Referee Shamira Nabada from Uganda, taking us through the paces here, and that beautiful header there by Morina Chieng in the 65th minute put Vihiga Queens ahead. And of course, a very, very delighted bench led by Charles Okere, who's also doubles as national keeper. And of course, today standing in for Vihiga Queens as they lost their head coach Alumira to the Tigers of Tanzania. Well, that was a floated pass and well-weighted goal there. A good header in the top corner of that goal for Maureen Achieng, who scored the 7th goal. 7 goals of the tournament. She's really been outstanding. And a big punt by Bobo. Picks out Flavin Mawete, and an easy tap in there by Aisha Mnuka, who had just come in, and a fast touch on the ball from a solid pass by Flavin Mawete Musolo puts Aisha Mnuka in a prime position to tie the game. And it was 1-1 at this particular point. Good pass, good tapping by the diminutive Aisha Mununka, donning number 10 for the Simba Queens. All they kept on moving. They kept on moving. They kept on asking questions. None of the two teams decided to sit back with the long passes down the lanes, trying to beat each other. And the moment of brilliance by Gentrix with a good run from deep into the midfield. And a blockbuster there, really catching goalkeeper napping. But again, it just hits the outside crossbar. That's one of the moments that we saw Gentrix moving in the prime position with a solid shot. Again, not hitting the target. But the technique was there, the drive was there. She drove it with a lot of passion. And the coach, Charles Okere, definitely delighted. And Alice Muderi with a beautiful cross, failing to be dealt with by the Vihiga Queens, by the Simba Queens. They failed to deal with that cross. The goalkeeper, Zubeda Mbunde, came out, and this prompted the whole bench of the Vihiga Queens to come out and at least just get into celebrating moves. That's a good header from Gentry. She raises up above all the Queens defenders, and she notes in the second goal in the 88th minute of the game with only 2 minutes of time remaining, and she notes in a very, 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 very beautiful header. And as we speak, Vihiga Queens celebrating that goal as the referee Shamira Nabada from Uganda calls this game to an end. And you would say they cried, they shed tears after starting up poorly. But that coach came out with a game plan. They sat back and played to their potential. And their potential was in all those high balls and high crosses. And what a way, mobbed by her fellow players. And from us, Nyayo National Stadium, we take you to the press conference where we want to hear from the coaches.
The CECAFA Zonal qualifiers for the Total Energies CAF Women's Champions League. Vihiga, the home team 2, and Simba Queens of Tanzania 1. In front of us, we have the coach of Simba Queens, Ali Omar. Ali Omar, hard luck. And what can you say? What happened? What went wrong today?
It's not wrong, but it's a game. No, there's two teams. They need one team to qualify to final. But my teams play well. Let's get chances first half. But second half, let's lose concentration. This is a football. Football is a game of chance. When you lost, punish.
I know many are boiling to ask Ali Omar questions. Please.
Coach, both goals you considered through set pieces. So would you say something about that? Both goals came from set pieces.
Yeah, set pieces, 40% of goals are set pieces. We train a lot, but it's our job. Our duty to coach, to remind players, to coaching players, to remind players every time. So that's a football game of mistakes. But we lose, but we play well. But for us, it's a lesson.
And injuries, how did injuries affect you? Because I think both your center backs had to come off injured. How did that affect you?
Yeah, of course. Injuries, cautions, and again, there's 2 cautions. As players play rotation, at the same time, receive another second caution. It's a problem, but all in all, we play well.
Kocha, nini wachezaji wako kipindi cha pili wamerudi wakionekana kuwa wiki? Ni hali ya hewa?
Sidhani kama walikuwa wiki, lakini hizi mechi hazifanani zinavyokuwa. Na mimi tangu mwanzo nilijua hizi mechi itakuwa ngumu, lakini sio kama Ladov. Isipokuwa players nadhani walikuwa na tension kubwa. Unajua sometimes inakuwa ikiwa over motivation, watu wanakuambia ni mshinde, lakini tumeenda first half, nimezungumza nao kidogo tu ili mbadi sio over tension, lakini second half tumekuja game imekuwa vile. Tumefungwa goal la pili ni matatizo ya goalkeeper, lakini sitaki kwa laumu wachezaji wangu kwa sababu wamepigana na lengo. Hii ni mwanzo, tunarudi nyumbani kwa ajili ya kujiandaa, tuna mabingwa tena, turudi next season.
bado kilio changu kwako kocha, timu imekuwa ikipata nafasi nyingi. Tunaweza kusema kama mchezo utakiwa umalize kipindi cha kwanza, hata katika mechi ya Red Doves ulipata nafasi nyingi sana, lakini mkiwa mkishindwa kuzitumia. Mnasubiria mshindi wa 3 siku ya Alhamisi kabla ya mchezo wa saa 10 wa fainali. Hii haikuonyeshi kwamba unaweza ukarudi nyumbani ukiwa mikono mitupu, hata nafasi ya mshindi wa 3 kukosa kutokana na kushindwa kutengeneza nafasi ambazo umekuwa ukizipata?
Sisi tumekuja kwenye mashindano. East Africa kuna timu nyingi sana, lakini sisi tumekuja huko, maana tumeacha timu nyumbani nyingi tu. Hii kuja kwenye mashindano ku tournament kucheza mechi 5 peke yake ni exposure kubwa. Kwa hivyo sisi tutaenda kucheza kutafuta nafasi ya 3. Sidhani kama tunaweza kucheza mechi nje ya uwanja, lakini tukija hapa tunaweza kucheza kati ya Ledova Ethiopia, kwetu sisi itakuwa vizuri. Tutapambana, bado hatujafa ngumu, kwa sababu unajua game wachezaji walikuwa wanahisi tutashinda tu, lakini kila time ikienda mechi imekwisha, tumefunga goli 2-1.
There's a question behind us.
Coach,
haja tuzidi popote game tu. Mchezo huu ni mchezo makosa. Ukifanya makosa kidogo tu, makosa alofanya Zubeda imetukost. Nasema tena, I don't want to blame my players, kwa sababu hiyo sio kazi ya kocha, lakini wachezaji wetu wanatakiwa wajifunze. Ni issue ya kujifunza. Haya ni mashindano makubwa, na mimi nimeingia kama mwezi mmoja na kitu, sitaki kujitetea, lakini kwamba hii kwangu mimi ni lesson. Narudi kwa ajili ya kujiandaa. Tumeona wachezaji, tumeona mashindano mazuri, kwa hiyo tunarudi nyumbani kwa ajili ya kujipanga tena kwa mwakani.
Coach, pole sana kwa kushindwa. Mmecheza vizuri sana, lakini hamjaibuka, mjapata ile ushindi mlikuwa mnatafuta leo. Wewe kama coach, umeona timu yako imecheza vipi kwa maoni yako?
Timu imecheza vizuri kwa sababu sisi tulikuwa tumejiandaa kwa ajili ya kucheza na Vihiga. Nilikuwa najua mechi itakuwa hivyo, lakini Vihiga walikuwa wanatuogopa zaidi wao, na ndio maana wakaanza defending game. Sisi wanatuachia tucheze, lakini unajua wachezaji wakifika uwanjani, ndio maana mimi sikai. Sijui makocha wenzangu, lakini nadhani hata kocha mwenzangu alikuwa hajakakai. Unatakiwa kila kati shout, remind players, lakini hawajatuzidi popote. Ni game iliyochezwa kama alivyosema kwamba huu ni mchezo wa makosa. Ukifanya kosa wenzako wanakuadhibu, lakini hatukuharibu, hatukucheza vibaya. Nimejifunza kwamba kwanza wachezaji wenyewe wajifunze. Mimi nimejifunza kwamba tunahitaji watu aina gani, quality players. Hii ya mashindano ni quality players, na ndio maana nikasema tumekuja huko, tumeona vingi, sio kucheza tu, lakini kuona wachezaji wengine. Naamini tukirudi usajili umekwisha, lakini dirisha dogo, na mimi tutakuja na wachezaji wengine mwakani, mtaenjoy.
Coach, Simba Queens ilikuwa miongoni mwa timu ambazo zilikuwa zimeratibiwa labda kuweza kushinda hili taji. Labda kwa mtazamo wako, umepata alama hasi ama alama chanya, na ni kitu gani ambacho unaweza kuongezea kwa Simba Queens?
Watu walikuwa wanaizungumza Simba Queens kwa sababu ya jina. Mimi nilikuwa naona timu yangu nzuri, lakini sio hivyo nilivyofikiria. Lakini siwezi kumwambia mtu kwamba timu yangu haiwezi kushinda mashindano, lakini kwa sababu ina Simba, na watu wakisema Simba wanajua ile Simba. Kwa hivyo ukisema Simba na mnyama mkali, wanajua hii ndio kama wale, lakini tunataka time kidogo kutengeneza kama Simba ile. Hii sio kama ile, lakini kwangu mimi nakwambia tena, tumecheza vizuri. Mechi 4 tumecheza, hii tunasubiri mechi ya 5, bado tupo katika mashindano, tunamaliza tarehe 9.
Okay, thank you very much, coach. One more game to go for the playoff. Wishing you all the best of luck, and it's nice to hear you talk about the good exposure for your team.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, media. Let's meet again. Oh, here's a calendar. Okay, are we okay? Vihiga assistant coach Boniface. What a celebration I saw when the second goal went in. I saw the head coach diving down, and wow, what a celebration. It's always nice to see such celebrations in football. What can you say going into the final? Your team is through to the final now. Do you think the cup is going to remain here?
Yeah, I'm confident enough that the cup will remain in Kenya, because we are trying to rectify some of our mistakes, so that by the time we reach the finals, I think we'll not have any mistake to give the cup away.
Coach, what did you tell the girls at halftime? Because the first half was not as good as the second half. What did you change at halftime?
And not that much, just a morale, And by first half, we had realized how Simba Queens are playing. So it was just a matter of a strategy that when going to attack, when Simba are on possession, we don't attack. They play the ball at our side, then we attack. That was the main strategy that we had.
Coach, congratulations kwa mara nyingine. Improved performance. Game 1 kulikuwa na porous defense, lakini ulisema umefix. Unaona sasa hii wasichana wako wamefanya ile ulikuwa unahitaji, especially vile tournament imekuwa kigrow.
Ni vizuri niseme wamefanya almost 60 to 70% of the instructions. So wamepiga plus.
Coach, congratulations. Lakini kwa nini Vihiga Queens haianzi game on the right foot? Kila saa, first half, not a good performance. Then second half, a totally different team.
Advantage na Vihiga Queens players, endurance. You know, the moment we draw first half, second half, the players have good endurance. They can do anything in second half. That is the only morale they have.
Money. From our records, he has been more generous than Safaricom and some other blue chip companies. Maybe for such major feat, he expects us